Saturn aspects to Uranus. Okay, now this is also the conjunction. So Saturn conjuncted to Uranus. You know, when we dealing with Saturn, we dealing with a planet of discipline, fear, organized. Those who want recognition, those who go through it to achieve, and those who don't stop until they achieve because they want to leave a mark for something. They want to leave a legend for something. These people are hard workers and very determined, and they suffer with trying to master whatever skill they're trying to do, and they suffer like through hard times, going through things. But this planet always overcome because it's strong, it's powerful, so it's a powerhouse. So when we got Saturn that's conjunction to Uranus, Uranus is unique. Uranus is the higher mind. It's different. It want to be different. It like what it likes. Uranus could be rebellious, but Uranus is like humanitarian nature and want to solve the world's problems. Because Uranus is also a cool energy. It's a cool force, but also could change. And so these people could change their thoughts. So when you got Saturn connected to Uranus, they deal with the discipline of the higher mind. So this self-mastery. So these individuals can master themselves when dealing with their mind. And they have an organized mind, organize everything they think in an organized way. It don't make sense if it ain't organized. Even the intuition is on fire because they take in so much information. Because Uranus is the higher mind. And so they get downloads of information from out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. These individuals want to leave a mark when dealing with the mind, when dealing with having some type of a foundation, some type of organization, some type of structure. So, which means they can leave a mark for like being the best real estate owner or agent or house owner. They want to leave a mark when dealing with organizations and structure or be a leader for something. They want to be a leader for something. These are people who will start organizations, how you got your NWACP, something like that. I'm just giving you an example. These people here want to leave a mark for something in the world. And the way they leave a mark will be, they want to be different and they want to be unique. And they want to use their creative powers and skills because they always coming up with different ideas. And they just different individuals. And sometimes they can feel like they're so high in advance of mind that they're better than every other individual because they carry themselves professionally. So it'd be hard for you to see any flaws in these people because they can think they're better than you when behind closed doors their mind is interested in all type of stuff, which means they like to experiment mentally and they like to experiment physically because it's Saturn here. So with their vision, they like to manifest. These people like to apply knowledge to their life. Everything they take in. So they got a scientific mind and they don't go for anything because they're rebellious against other people's thoughts and their ways. Yeah, so they're rebellious against people's action, wrongdoing action. So these people like freedom fighters, because they love their freedom, they love independence. And the way they do it will be more perfect, more be skilled and organized because Saturn give these people skills. And this one you got Saturn conjunction to Uranus. So these people here is some people that you wouldn't understand because they on a higher level and they think different, but they think on with a higher viewpoint, a higher perspective of things, and they're very practical thinking. The higher mind, even though it seems like it's so advanced, but they are the ones who can break down things to you in a practical way because they like to help people. And so Saturn get an ability to help people, not only just 1, 2, 3, but a whole nation of people. But they will go through things that dealing with being different and being organized. Maybe they didn't want to be organized. Maybe they did, but they struggle with being organized. They always been trying to be organized, but since they're the professionalists, when they think of something, they always losing that memory. They say, "Oh, I forgot this," and they be hard on themselves about how they forgot that, and then they can be so hard on themselves because they're a professionalist. So they got to watch out for that because they can be a professionalist, and they got to understand that they are they are the information souls, so they got to understand they had to clear some of them thoughts out of their mind because they could overthink. And so this the whole clue, because they're a deep thinker. These are your highly intellects of the world who bring new thoughts and new philosophy and new poet and new music to the world. So these people here are the ones who could run businesses, who could run groups, but also could be behind the scene, because Uranus could be behind the scene and do anything. And they can manipulate a person without a person knowing it, because they so highly intellectual and highly intuitive. They just know how to deal with people, and they know how to deal with the human behavior, and they know the human behavior. They always checking up on people, and they always talking about, for example, they always talking about Tasha. Look at Tasha's behavior. This is for example. Today her behavior like this. She was fun loving. So they into the human behavior, knowing about the person, and you would think that they just like to talk about people, but it ain't that. They like the behavior of the individual. So they study it really. That's what they study, so they can learn people. So they keep doing this until they get it down packed. Like, for example, I'm gonna use Frank as a dude. They study his behavior. Well, yes, he was very aggressive and violent, and I know why, because such and such, such. Cause so that means that these people like to know how you think and what makes you tick, because they're trying to perfect that. They're trying to be able to utilize that tool for psychology, so they make great psychologists and great therapists and stuff like that. So that's why they always studying the human mind and studying the human behavior and coming up with new philosophy, a different way. They always inventing something new. So these souls here can be some of your best leaders in the world, but they don't really want to be so out in the front, but then they do, because they want to leave a mark for something, and then they don't. So that's how it works with this place, because Uranus could be behind the scene if they want. So whatever they got their mind fixed on, they determine to go get, because Uranus is goal orient, and so is Saturn. So Saturn give them more drive, not only in the mind, but give them the ability to carry it out and be persistent. So anybody who in their way, they could be rebellious against. And two, so these people could become fighters too, for whatever they believe in. And you're not about to change their thoughts and their ways, and they hate that because they're all about their freedom. So this is how I go down with these people. These are your activists who in your community who want to help the community, who want to help people. Not only just the community, but the world in general. So long as they stay up out the world, they won't be so angry or so worried about the world. They need to get themselves right. But the thing about these people, they like to see people who are different, and they like people to be different. And they like different things, like different television shows and stuff like that. But the way they like it will be like in the orderly fashion. They can go with the order things and flow, but sometimes they can't, because Uranus sometimes don't like to be in the box, period. So long as Saturn and Uranus come into balance, Saturn might follow Uranus' lead, and Uranus do his own thing, like to be different. So this energy, once it's bond together, Saturn flow with it and give them that strong stability to carry any task or anything out. Because Uranus is imaginative and the visionary. It can see the big picture and know the big picture. So Capricorn is the planet that give Uranus a slow thinking personality. What I mean slow thinking, I mean like deep thinking. Not really slow, but a deep thinking mentality. But they are slow to just jump on something, because they're trying to get the plan down packed. Because Saturn want to get this down packed. So these people make great planners and great organizers, planning events, planning anything. So, and they're very analytical, picking up on information. Because Saturn want to slow down, pick up on the information and get it right, and build this foundation solid. It could be your home. It could be your home life, or home, or no, more than one home, more than your family home. It could be many homes in the world, where you can own many homes and rent them out and sell them out. Because Saturn know how to do business. So these people know how to do business. They're very skilled and things like that. And they can be very temperamental too, because Uranus change up and they can snap. So with this being said, This is a very good place for professionals, and the two-tip geniuses who want to carry a career and anything that's professional and bringing out something that's new, so they can be scientists and inventors and start new trends and start advanced science. You know, coming up with something that's new. So if they don't come up with something new, they might feel funny. Now, this is just Saturn conjunction to Uranus. So these people are very outspoken. They're very good speakers, and they can be very blunt with their words too. They can sound foul, but they're just so practical and so honest. And this is how they give it up. This is how they give it to you. And so now, how do a Saturn act when it's trine to Uranus? Well, Saturn trine to Uranus, this your gift. Everything I spoke about, the Saturn conjunction to Uranus, this is your gift. This is what you've been gifted with. All of this, the intuitive genius skills, having a high intellect, being the humanitarian. This is your gift. This is actually a part of who you are. It's so easy. It's so easy a part of you until you forget that it's a part of you. Until you might don't want to do things that deal with your gift, your career, your tutor mind, or something like that. You might don't want to do social work. You might don't want to do things differently. You might want to follow the trend, follow everybody else, what everybody else got going on. And so this your gift. See, then you wonder why you losing, because you're not using your gift and what you here to do. This your gift, so you can carry it out. This is a tool that you should use. Everything I spoke about, the Saturn conjunction to Uranus. Your gift is to be the humanitarian and be the psychologist and have the tutor mind and the therapist. Yes, and to rebel against other thoughts, to come up with a new idea and stuff like that. But it's like a debate, not an argument, but like a debate, because you can be very argumentative. So this is your gift to do all of this, to be the humanitarian, the loyal one to your family or to people, to be the cool, kind one. This is part of who you are. And so you can forget this. You might forget this part of who you are, so you got to use it. As long as you use this gift, or you might don't use it too much. So you're here to use your gift. And this is the universal force, universal flow. And your gift is to bring the truth to the world and expose things and dissecting the code and experience life. And when you experiment, you're coming up with solutions to problems. This is your gift to be a problem solver. So now you understand. Now, how does it play out? And also you get to be creative. So how does it play out when you got Saturn sextile Uranus? Everything I just spoke of about Saturn conjunction to Uranus, or Saturn trine to Uranus. Sextile means this is your potential, which means this is your energy. You just got to travel the path of this energy. You just got to go for it. It's easy to you because it's easy aspects, and so you can grow into it, and then it will become natural part of you because the energy already there. You just got to activate the energy. That's all it is. And so a trine is natural, and the potential is the energy is there. You just got to activate it, and then it will become natural because it was always there. It's still your energy, and so you just got to activate it. So once you do activate it, and these people, when they activate it and they accomplish, they feel good. So it's your potential that you can have a highly intuitive genius mind, your scientific mind, that you can be the psychologist, and that you could be the one who comes with solutions to the people's problems, the humanitarian, the one who dissecting the code into experiment. It's your potential. You see it. You already see it. You just got to activate it and go for it. It's easy to you. And then it becomes easy to you as you grow. So it's your potential to have a highly intellectual mind. So when people say, ooh, look at your mind, you just got to continue it out and understand this is your energy and activate it. So this is how it works. So everything I spoke about, the Saturn conjunction Uranus, when you activate it and you grow into it with the sextile, you become just like the Saturn conjunction Uranus on the positive side. That's what you become. So this is how it play out. So you understand it now. You understand what I said, because you got to grow into it. You'll be just like, let me say it again, Saturn conjunction Uranus. If you know what I just said about Saturn conjunction Uranus. You'll be just like that. You just got to grow into it if you're not like that right now. So now, how do it play out? How do Saturn play out through a square Uranus? Oh, when Saturn square Uranus, whew, it don't want to be unique. It don't want to take the lead. It don't want to be organized. It just go through it. Or it could be too organized or too unique. And it can be very snappy and always changing up. Or it could be too organized and too practical, too in the world, more greedy or more materialistic than being in his higher mind, than being on a higher level. It could be too much in the world, then balancing it out with the mind. Because this is what you'll go through. You'll go through people who are different, people who are unique. You'll go through people of authority, maybe fight against them or rebel against them, or they rebel against you when you're in authority. Or you'll go against people who are changing up on you, who are switching out on you. But also those people who authority figures who you'll clash against. So once you understand once you understand this, the energy, and you master this energy, because it's teaching you a lesson right here when dealing with uniqueness, when dealing with power and authority, and when dealing with money and manifestation. Because what you got to understand, Saturn and Uranus, this is a manifestation energy where you can visualize something, you can manifest it in your reality. Yes, so you can create your reality with this placement. So now, squares is that you have a hard time doing that. You have a hard time visualizing, manifesting what you're trying to. You might have low self-esteem. You might want to manifest something, but can't. Or feel like you can't manifest it. And so right here, that's what it means when they say you will go through it and you will suffer. And you might have illness that deal with your ankle or your bones, breaking your bones and stuff like that. Right here, that just means, you know what I mean? And so, but also you can have illness that deals with your nervous system or your higher mind or something like headaches and all that other stuff. So, and also in your knees or something like that, aches in your knees, bone problems and stuff like that. So watch out for that. Not to say that it is, but if it is, this is why. So now, you got Saturn square Uranus. Saturn, when Uranus is organized, the higher mind is organized, it's at its best. You're gonna leave a legacy as a teacher. And what you're gonna teach what you've been through. You're gonna teach about the world, you're gonna teach about what's going on, you're gonna teach people about the human behavior, you're gonna teach philosophy, you're gonna teach science and mathematics, you're gonna teach anything. You're able to teach anything. So this placement here, you become a Jesus where you will teach differently. You won't teach like everybody else. But you also can fit in with everybody else too. You know what I mean? But if you got a fixed mind, ain't nobody changing your mind, period. And so once you master this vibration, just like I said about the Saturn conjunction Uranus or Uranus conjunction to Saturn, just like I said, how it is when they blend in, so will you. You become just like that. You become just like that. The great humanitarian, a legend, leaving a mark in the world for something, for creating a new thought, inventing something new, or being the one who speak your truth or spread the truth to the world, and also the one who can save the world or feel like a savior of the world by having so many people and giving and stuff like that. So you'll leave a legacy for something once you master yourself. But if you don't, you'll have a hard time. You will suffer to the death of you. So because this also deal with devil transformation. Also Saturn, because Saturn go through it, so, and you transform. And first it feel like limits. After a while, you'll master limits. Then it become no limits after a while, because that's why after you master yourself. When you understand what you are, you be the true teacher, spiritual teacher, the sage, the healer. You can be a healer with the hands, because you also gonna be good with the hands. So this whole placement, the Saturn Uranus placement, anybody who on the upside of this energy have healing hands and healing abilities, yes, and have a scientific mind, who dissect the code, who research. So as I continue on, Saturn square Uranus, after you master this placement, you be at your best, and you be one of the best teachers because the squares of oppositions become the best because they experience a lot. They experience more than the easy aspects like the trine and the sextile. And the conjunction could play out through all of them. Like the conjunction could act like it's like this is their potential, or they could act like a trine, like this is a gift and avoid the gift, or they could act like it's a square and go through it, or they could act like an opposition where they go through it too. So now, when you got Saturn opposing Uranus, opposition to Uranus, Saturn opposing being different, or Uranus opposing being organized, and they can have a hard time, or they can over organize themselves to the point to where they be assessed, or they can also Saturn will fight against people who are different. They'll fight against people who are different, and they don't understand people who are different. You know what I mean? They don't, but they understand. They also can understand that they are different, but want to be like somebody else, want to be a follower, and don't want to be a leader, and they might don't want to leave a mark. So anytime you got the squares of opposition, the people can go through it so bad till they don't want to leave a mark. They just want to live like that there. So these people might want to suffer, and be afraid to express themselves or hold a lot in, where they don't want to express their mind or their thoughts or their philosophy and things of that nature. Or they might don't want to talk or be the communicator and very good and very skilled at communicating. And they could be. There's so many possibilities right here, but we know what to deal with this energy. They could be a communicator. They could be a communicator, but they might be afraid to express themselves. They could be very smart and they know this, but they might be afraid to express themselves. Or it could turn out they could be a know-it-all and don't want to hear what nobody else got to say. Be so fixed until they get everything wrong. They think they know, but they get it wrong. So they could be a know-it-all, and they can have battles, like argument battles, and go through things like that. So these people like to experiment and explore. They might don't want to experiment and explore. They might want to keep everything the same and don't want to embrace change. So this is what the energy is about. But also, they might want to stay on the negative side. They might don't want to be on the upside. The same as the opposition, the squares could go through it the same way. And so opposition be fighting against it. The opposition be even more harder because the opposition forget that it has Uranus as its team, or forget that it has Saturn as its teammate, and it might act like it's a new jack to these energies. Like Saturn might act like it's new jack to Uranus, like you know what I'm saying? Because they're opposing each other. They oppose each other and might forget about Uranus. Same thing with Uranus. So because sometimes you might feel organized, sometimes you might feel different, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you might feel like a leader. Sometimes you might feel like you just want to be in the cut, behind the scenes. So everything depends on you. So once you understand that this is your energy, and you master this energy, you can be the true intuitive genius, the scientist, the philosopher, the psychologist, the social worker, the activist, the freedom fighter, and everything else. And also inventing something that's new. You can also become, when you master this, you will become, let me say it correctly, when you master this, you will become the positive side of Saturn conjunction Uranus. So it will blend in. It feel like, because once you master it, you see how it blend in, and your energy work together with it. Because once you learn that Saturn need Uranus and Uranus need Saturn for balance, this is how you win. So you bring these energies together, you got a powerful combination. It'll be just like Saturn conjunction to Uranus, because you don't blend the energy in. It is that when it's like squares of opposition, you got to work hard, and you will suffer or go through stuff when dealing with this aspect. That's all it is. The easy aspect is that it's your gift. It's so easy that you might forget. And the sextile is that it's your potential. You just got to activate it. And it's easy to you. You see it, but you got to activate it. But it's easy to you. So if you don't activate it, you know what I mean, you can't use your potential. The energy is there. You see it. But those who activate the sextile, they appreciate it because the little work they put in to grow or to activate it, they appreciate it more. See, Trine, this should a nasty part of them until they can forget that this their gift. But the conjunction can play out through all of them, because this is the strongest aspect, the conjunction. So this being said, is I came lit. who bring you this light. It gets no realer than this. Oh, sure.